Which piece are we copying to take down there?
Your original shape that you made all smooth, you're gonna bring it down here and we're gonna learn how to make an impression and things with it. So you can cut, windows out of a wall this shape if you want to, or you can make like smaller versions of this shape.
So we're bringing down the one that has the white part on it too?
Yeah, the one you put your clear seal all over and you fixed, it's boo-boos. You're gonna bring that down.
Oh.
Okay, not the one that's in the we pulled up out of the ground, the underneath. You want not the finished one. You want
No.
the one that's not inside of.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Kraylith, for the follow. Sorry, Kraylith. Sorry. Totally destroyed that name. This thing beeps to tell me when people follow because I don't pay attention to the stream or anything like that, so I don't notice. And I did not expect a noise like to beep in my ear. That startled me.
Almost copied somebody else's. I'd have been cheating there, wouldn't I?
That's fine. If you copy mine, then it'll be messed up, so I wouldn't recommend it. I'm actually going to have you guys all rotate yours so they're laying flat, because it'll be easier to work with it. I should have told you that before I had you paste it, huh? That would have been nice. Flat but not touching the ground. I think we're all going to be in the earth. If anyone starts doing their procedure on it with the heal tool, has anybody here not messed with the ring cutter tool?
Lady hasn't.
Okay. But I got rid of all the cactuses. I think Kelly's hubby's on the phone with her. Okay. Thank you, Ravenmet. Alright, I'm gonna move over here because I'm in everybody's way. Alright, when you're ready to do this, we're going to make some pillars on the ground. You're going to take your selection tool and you're going to run it along the edge of your shape, and you're going to move it about 3 voxels out, and you're going to make just do an add. We're probably all going to crash a lot during this part, so it's just kind of easier to see what you're doing if you do it this way, and then we'll make it neater and easier to see after the fact. We're going to make like a little frame around our shape, but just a couple voxels away because we're going to vanish it. And you don't want these voxels to be touching. These are just going to be here to show you where your shape is. You're going to have to remember your shape is like 2 or 3 voxels inside this frame that you made. So don't forget how far away it is. When you get used to doing this method, this is Firewall's ring cutter method. I think Smoke Jumper showed it last tutorial he did on live stream. When you get used to doing this, you won't need to have a huge frame. You'll be able to do just like a dot and you'll be cool. Takes practice. So you can see I've deleted out my frame. The only reason, if anyone's wondering why I put these supports here on the ground, is so I'd know based on the ground how high I had it up, and it's easier for me to do my markers. Not have a headache, and I'm kind of sleepy, so. Alright, so now we're going to make this shape. We're going to make it in the earth. And we're going to do
you want
that.
us to change our frames to those points like you have, or just leave our frames?
You can leave your frames how you want. If you've done the ring cutter, you can make them dots like you have them. But it's probably going to be easier for you to see where you've been once you do this by leaving the frames out. So I think for now it'll probably be best to leave them out.
Okay, I've played with the ring cutter a lot.
Okay, cool.
I created a firecracker tower using it.
Nice. Okay, once you've got a frame built around it, just so you know where it is, like you know where you've been with the selection tool and stuff, we're going to start deleting the shape. Yes, your beautiful shape you put all your hard work into, we're going to make it go away. The dots on the ground are actually important because that's going to be how you'll reference it from the ground.
Oh, I got the delete bug.
Alright, once you got your frame, you're going to take your selection tool, you're going to go line by line, you're going to kind of trace this shape into the ground with your selection tool and delete. And then you're going to go to the next, you can do it voxel by voxel. Don't skip steps, because if you do, you will lose parts of your curve. That's really important to go slow on this part. And you're only going to decrease the size of your selection box by 1 when it starts to curve down, and you're not going to do it right away. And the way to know if you need to do it or not, I'll show you when I get to my curve. So go slow. Now I've gotten to where it starts to curve down, so I'm going to move it down 1, and then to see if I need to move my whole selection box down or not, if I would be losing part of my curve, I'm going to paint. And you see how the top part didn't change, so that top part is its own separate voxel. So I'm going to undo my paint, and I'm going to move my box back up. And I'm going to go down again. And this is like the part that's really tedious, but the good news is you can template it when you're done, and it only takes up 4 voxels of template space. So that's good. Probably this next one I will have to move it down 1. I'm going to move it down 1 and check with my paint to see if I paint the top voxel or not. And what I'm doing is I'm making an impression with the air by deleting it into the ground. And then I'm going to be able to paste this air into surfaces.
Okay. So you use the selection tool, select one row at a time, and have it long so that it's selected down in.
Right. I'm kind of like shadow casting the shape into the ground. If you pretend you're tracing the shape with your selection tool and you're tracing the edge into the ground, and it's going to be pixelated, that's okay. We're going to fix that. I'll show you how to fix that once we're done deleting it. But the tricky part is knowing when to move your selection box down or not, and that's the part, especially if you have a lot of curves in your shape, it gets really tedious, but you only have to do it once.
Great. And my internet chopped off right when you told me what the answer was.
Oh no. But yes, that's what I'm doing is I'm taking my selection tool and I have it dragged down so it's embedded into the earth as well, and I'm deleting the shape and the earth at the same time. And then when I get to where the curve is, I'm painting it so I know if I've moved it down too much or not enough.
Because you don't want
Right.
to delete it where the curve is, because that curve won't delete as a curve. It'll be a square.
Yeah, it'll return to pixelated, but I can fix that by putting my imprint on the ground and underneath it.
Okay. So you only want to delete the part that's pixelated. Leave the curve floating above ground. Is that what you're saying? Or did my internet just cut out again?
Somebody's pointing out that what I should be doing, Winterheart points out what I should be doing is I should be healing the shape and restamping the original above and below to reshape the healed earth. I think the difference in that is what that would do is let me reshape matter into healed earth, right, with the ring cutter technique, but I'm actually going to be making air impressions into things. So I won't be reshaping earth, because I'm going to be reshaping air. This is like a post somebody put, and I have no idea who put it, and that kills me that I don't remember. They put it in the ring cutter thread and said, oh, by the way, you can also do this. And it was like a little tiny blurb that I don't think went noticed. And it's super fun to put, like, you know, windows and things that are whatever shape you want. Like the door, remember the door in the Frozen build on the castle that had the holes and stuff? Oh wait, no, you weren't building with us on Frozen yet.
No, I was right after Frozen when we started the library.
I'm trying to think. I never got you to go to the Frozen build though.
I went there right before it got deleted.
Oh, good.
We went and looked around, but it was really cool. I'm trying to wrap my brain around what we're doing.
Yeah, if you come here, I'm going to paint this because it won't matter if I paint it on the ground. You can see the shape. Like, remember the pixelated, the voxel putty we put onto the white stuff originally, and you guys were probably thinking, why are we doing this, right? This is going to be an inverse of that shape. This healed earth, because the healed earth, when you paste it onto things, won't leave anything. But this air, this is air. This is air I made. This is not procedural air, right? So this air actually will make an impression on things, like anti-voxel etching, how you can punch air into things to etch designs. That's what we're going to be doing, but on a very large scale.
Okay, so we're not trying to actually save the curve. We're just trying to represent where the curve is.
Right.
On the ground.
You got it.
Okay.
And these little blocks down here on the ground, these are so I'll remember where my shape was in the ground. Gonna have to paste on top of it and below it to reform the curve. And then, yeah, this is like a really complicated, tedious technique. So it's okay if you guys are like, screw that. I don't ever want to do that. What a waste of time. That's fine too. I just did it and thought it was cool, so I thought people might want to learn it.
Okay, now question again. When you have a curve, do you let your selection tool go above the curve so that it's just like part of the curve is in your selection tool, or do you drop it below the curve?
Okay, so what
I've been... be above, because you're gonna take away.
No, that's the tricky part, is sometimes it's below. That's why I'm painting. If you see here, I'm painting the edge of my shape over and over again because I'm on the curve, right? And I know if I paint it here, well, I probably shouldn't paint it like the same color. If I paint it here, I know I'm going to get the whole thing. So I'll undo a step, move my selection box down, and just make sure. You see how I left the white box there that time? So I know for sure that my selection box is going to actually take the air out where that curve is. Because as you
want to get the whole curve in there.
Yeah, otherwise it won't make anything that'll look the same. Well, no, this is the same technique as Firal's. Firal, he uses this too, but that's for making a positive shape. The ring cutter technique, you can also do like the ring cutter technique with air. I'm doing it with air, basically.
I'm sorry,
Somebody
guys, my husband called.
That's cool.
He's on his way home instead of staying overnight, so I'm gonna have to go. I started him some dinner.
Alright. Well, I can show you this later, or I'm gonna upload this. I might make it into a concise tutorial. I'll probably upload this so people can like see what they've done. Point. Like I can actually make something that's shortened to the point. Who am I kidding?
Okay. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow because he does a double tomorrow, so I'll be on, after baby's in bed.
Alright.
He just got his second tooth cutting today and paper rash on his whole butt, so I dealt with a hysterical baby.
Poor baby.
He was so hysterical, like I wanted to cry with him.
Yeah, it's hard being that little and you can't say anything and you just have to cry and hope mommy fixes it. But you'll take care of him.
I just held him and I was rubbing his back and everything, and then he still was just screaming in my arms. I'm like, you just ate, I changed you, everything. I mean, I just gotta hold you, I guess.
Yeah, mine had colic, so there's times where that's all you can do, and it feels terrible that that's all you can do, but they know you love them, and just you holding them and being there for them is enough.
Alright, night guys, I'll see you tomorrow night.
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 Alright, Snap, I'm painting my part that I cut it out so you can see what it's going to look like. This part is really tedious to do on anything super big, so I don't, unless you're just kind of crazy, I don't recommend doing this on a large scale. But it can make some cool effects, and it doesn't, the good thing about it is it doesn't count air voxels or procedural voxels as voxels in your template. So it only counts the voxel petty voxels that you have here in the anchors.
I'm just gonna roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah. If y'all can think of, if there is a better way to do this, please let me know, because that's super tedious, and I'd be much happier with the easier way to do it, trust me. I did it on a really big shape last night, and I was like, halfway through, this is taking forever. Sure hope it's worth it.
Yeah. On the ring cutter technique, you actually, you heal the shape. You have your ring on the ground, and then you go and you use your heal tool, and you heal the ring that you've cut, instead of cutting it into the ground like this.
Yeah, but won't that
Have you tried it?
Doesn't that just leave, that reshapes material though, doesn't it? It doesn't leave air behind. It doesn't leave empty spaces and things when you use it, does it?
Yes, it does. What you do
Oh.
then is you take another, you take your original form that was all smooth, you put it on top and on bottom, and then you select the shape in between, and all you're selecting is air because it's the healed earth.
Oh, okay. That's what I should have done. You should do that then.
Okay. See if it works.
Yeah, it should work. We'll see it.
Because you remember how I was given the mission of putting a arch on a curved wall at a 45-degree angle?
Yes.
I spent 2 days trying to do it.
Yeah, and you went a little crazy, I think. And we're all like, why did we give her that to do? Who did that to you again? I think that was Kit.
I was Kat. Yeah, Kit did it, and I've only been like my second day with Landmarkians, and like a week after I joined the game. Yeah, it was
What did I do?
interesting. Well, that would tell. I had to try to put an arch in a 45-degree at a 45-degree angle on a curved wall. Was that you?
Probably.
It was either you or I don't think Cohen would have done it to me.
No, it sounds
I
like
don't
something
know.
my husband would do.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Kit.
Well, this door was not neon orange when we made it. I don't know why it is. But
It's pink on my screen.
yeah, it's neon. I'm not even sure that's lumicite. Like, that's just ungodly ugly. All the shapes in here were made by me deleting shapes into the earth and then putting an anchor voxel, which was putty at the time, I just didn't realize it. A putty voxel to show where it was, and then I just stamped the hole through the door. But someone do ring cutter, I'm gonna do mine. I suspect ring cutter works better. This firewall's smart.
I'm healing this supposedly, but it's not jagging like it should. It's keeping its original shape.
Are you real close to the edge? Because look where the line is for the earth behind you. No, you're underground. I made...
Yeah. It should be jagging out though.
Well, no, that's all flat voxels though. All that part there. It'll jag out. It should jag out when you get near the curve. If it doesn't, you found something magical.
That's not jagging. It should. Because when I did that ring cutter thing, it just jagged the whole thing out. And
your arch is on the southeast side.
Yeah, but flat. If it's laying down flat, it doesn't matter.
No, well, no. Every time I've seen somebody cut it, if their curve is southeast, it stays smooth because the voxel square goes the opposite direction, so it's away from your curve.
That's the southeast corner bug in action then.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing because then it's smooth already.
Yeah, I was thinking it's pretty good too.
Raven Mad Corliss said, use an idea would be to use the second copy. Let's see. Krayla said pasting the shape in the ground, then deleting it voxel by voxel, then restamp. Would that work? And then someone else said, Raven Mad said, might be an idea to use the second copy you placed in the platform that turns square, and then use that as the copy to make the air shape in the ground instead of painting and checking all the time. So it's like all kinds of cool ideas. Now I'm gonna have to play with them all. I'm gonna be making crap out of the dirt. I'm gonna be playing in the mud for weeks. Sorry, honey, I'm still not gonna be building anything in the game. Yeah, what's new? It's like since alpha, I've been basically experimenting with making things, not actually making anything.
Well, there's my shape in dirt.
Alright, now let's get a test wall going here.
Should we copy this and see what happens?
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
Alright, good night, guys.
Night. This first time I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it without putting the shape below and above it. And let's see if it's jagged or smooth. I gotta copy all the way out to the blocks, don't I?
Yeah, or it should disappear when you start trying to move it around.
Alright, what do you want me to do with it? Stick it in the wall?
Yeah, stick in the wall over here. I didn't know about the southeast corner on the curve. That's awesome.
Oh, didn't paste. Well, I pasted with air. Wait a minute. Yeah.
You're going to want to paste with air, because otherwise it won't delete it out.
That won't work.
That's kind of cool, though.
Well, right, because you pasted it in there with air, it left the space what you healed and took out everything that was what was in the regular air, deleted. That did what it was supposed to.
But it looks cool.
So this bottom part would be the window. The top part where I would remain as the wall or whatever, it'll be the negative. Wait a minute. Yeah, it'll be the negative that would actually become the window.
Now mine should cut a hole into the wall.
But southeast corner bug is good. It saves a whole step.
And see mine.
Saves a couple steps.
Right. So you see what I was trying to show over here. I've cut mine as an empty shape. I've got my shape pasted down on the ground over here so you can see it.
Oh, I just dropped out again.
So after we have it cut out, do we put our shape above it to smooth that out in the earth?
Yeah, you're going to put your shape below it to smooth out that bottom side, and then you're going to move it up so it's laying on top of it flat. Like mine, you can't see it. Let me go back a step so you can see.
You can heal mine out if you want to. I wonder if I paste without air, what would happen? I wouldn't do anything probably.
So you see I pasted mine down under it and healed the top of the curve on that side of it. And I pasted it down again on top of it like that. So it heals out the top of the curve on both sides, but I probably could have just had it face to the southeast and gotten a cleaner result. I'll have to try that next time. I'd still have to heal the curve, but it should have less of this jagged crappiness that it came out with.
Your way actually does leave a hole where it's supposed to. This way I don't know if it would be actually usable.
I tried doing it like in the air. Okay. Yeah, I tried doing it in the air, but what ended up happening is I was pasting, all the air, all the air around my markers, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
I made a big rectangle. Woohoo!
Yeah, so that's what happened over there. A rectangle with the shape in it. But see, you don't want that. You want the opposite of that. Gonna make a window. That's just gonna.
Well, no, you could take yours and rotate it, and then you can still work with that.
That could be your mountain out in the distance.
Yeah.
It's just a different, which you pasted your shape in the surface with the space cut out around it, and she pasted the shape as a cutout and kept everything else. So you did opposites of what you were doing.
So this depends on what you want to use, which way you want to use the tool.
And I just do that with the selection box and the paint and checking it because I am terrible at lining stuff up. And I know that if I tried to do it by hand, I would totally fail and end up with just destroying my work. I'm going to paint all this stuff over here so everyone has places to put their stuff when they're done.
Well, I gotta go. Gotta pick up my son at work, so I'm gonna have to watch your video to figure out what else to do with this.
All right. It's good to have you.
See you later.
And see you later.
Thanks for letting me.
Yeah,
Bye,
anytime,
guys.
anytime. Expect to see office art for a dentist.
I'm gonna be working on it.
I think we're going to run out of surfaces to put. I'll delete stuff up there. It can go into the ceiling too. That's where I'll put mine. So you guys can all get a neck ache trying to see what I did. I need another copy of my shape though. And what I was thinking of doing with this was like taking, my shape and stacking it 3 times, and then taking my cutout of my shape and putting it like 2 voxels inset and doing like a cutout. So it would look like my shape, I could do like railing with the same shape cut out. And just kind of get like a harmony of the same shape, like this kind of nice landscaped looking pattern over and over again. That would be really cool, I think. If I ever actually build anything, that is. Quit playing in the dirt and experimenting with shapes. Yeah, once you've got it painted, once you got your air shape stamped in like that, you can just recolor the guide blocks that you put in there. And those are putty, so they won't deform whatever you put them on. They'll deform to go whatever you put them near, but not the shape you pasted on. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about destroying your work putting this in something. Yeah, these look really cool. And to smooth out the edges where it's got the deformities, it's not perfectly crisp, you can just take the line tool on the square parts and go in, or even the add tool. That would work there. You don't need to use the line tool. But you can use the line tool on the curves. Let me put mine in so you can see it. And so if I mess it up, you can laugh at me. And just like on top, when we made our original shape that we've been using like over and over again, use the line tool on the curve, but if it starts to artifact, you just go back a step. And then you might have to do the voxel putty trick, which will be significantly more difficult, but all you have to do is you copy this imprint shape that you made out. No matter how much I line tool it. That got chunky when I put it in the ground. I'm not really sure why. I'll blame Smoke Jumper. And the bonus, once you've put that in the wall, you can now copy out what you've put in, and you have a permanent like shape to work with. You just have to clean it up a little bit after. What you do, more line tool on it. I never use the line tool for anything like line related. I just clean things with it. They should call it the cleaning tool, or I don't know. Smooth. It could be the smooth. Gother asks, how can you make a cylinder? The best way I think to do that still is to take a sphere and copy a slice out of the middle and stack it. And just copy the centermost slice and stack it as many times as you want. If it's bigger than the regular sphere size will make, then you have to do like there's a post on the forums that shows you how to go about that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a chunk missing here. Oh, look at my leg, everybody. Got a chunk missing on this other side. You can see it, right? So I'm going to take voxel putty like we did up top when we were smoothing our original shapes. I'm going to paste it on the good side. I'm going to copy the putty. Mirror it, in this case on the blue axis, will be whatever axis is opposite of where you need it to be. And when I paste it in, you could probably see it popped that side out. It's like when you're repairing a dent on your car. Probably do that here and here as well. And then once you get that shape kind of fixed out, you have to copy it out again, unless you did it flat on the ground. If you do it flat on the ground, you don't have to copy it out again, because you don't want to delete these. I'll show you what happens when you delete. Sometimes when you delete these, as you see, it went right back to how it was. It healed itself. That's the southeast corner bug. If I did it flat on the ground, it would not have done that, but it's difficult to see underneath it. Lending me your cat? Oh, car. That makes more sense. I was going to say, why would I want to borrow your cat? So now that I've got my deleted out shape, I'll show what I was thinking of doing. Let's see if it works, because I've never done it before and it's always fun to do things for the first time. Oh yeah, there's my cutout. I had my tool. And it's still got some funkiness, so I'll just take the line tool, and if it still persists on being chunked like that, there's probably another voxel at fault that needs to be copied from the other side, and you just need to paste to like see, okay, or not paste, sorry. I'm lagging. I'm stuck in the line mode. I can't do anything else. There, I've drawn a line. Stop making me do the line tool. Anyway, it is probably that voxel or that voxel that's at fault. And you could tell when you paint them, if you check one side and then the other and they look different, like it's more triangular on one side and more square on the other, then it's that one that's probably at fault. But sometimes you get artifacts that it just isn't going to let you fix without doing more extreme repair. This is what I wanted to try. So I'm going to get my original shape. I'm going to come down here and see what I can do to it. Because I wanted to make like the stairs. So I was going to copy it 3 times. So it's 3 voxels thick. And then I'm going to take my delete shape and I'm going to put my delete shape in it. Put 2 voxels down so it doesn't artifact the top. Kind of hard to do since my guide blocks are really far away. But I remember I made them 2 voxels away, right? So I rotated up on its red axis. Hope I rotated it in the right direction because I probably didn't. Find my guide blocks. Wonder why I'm trying to play with invisible things. I'll get right eventually. It's really important to do paste with air on this. Once I was trying to show somebody this and didn't have paste with air on it, I was late and I was very tired and it would not work. I couldn't figure out why. Yeah, that's a good point. I will try that. Raven Mad said, make a bigger petty voxel so you can see what you're doing. Said it nicer than that, but yeah, that's a good idea. I'm just going to make a big frame around it because it's petty voxels if you paint, and so it won't affect the surface of what I'm putting it on. It'll just change the color of it if it's in the surface, and that's fine, I don't care. If it's on top of surface, I can just copy it out again. In fact, I will put a mark to know where the top is. It's a great idea, thank you. Okay, so you see the general idea I'm getting at without the gigantic frame to let me know where things are supposed to go. So you can paste your shape in the ground, someone said, and delete it in rows, and that actually works just as well. So that's a better way to do it, I think. So now I'm getting artifacting. Once you get too close, it starts to deform the shape no matter what you do. which can be fixed, but I mean, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So you see here, or you can also make it cave. That's probably what I'm going to do with this. But that's it. That's a pretty long set of things to sit through and learn. I hope you guys learned some really cool stuff from this, though. And I want to see a lot of dentist office art. Oh, and one other thing you can also do, of course I'm not done thinking of things to do. Let me paint putty a different color for this. You can put putty on top of a curve, and what it's going to do is it's going to make spikes, and it's going to look crappy. But if you keep doing it, and you do it up high enough, it'll make another layer, and it will eventually square off. Like you see here, like it wants to make everything voxel shaped, because that's the way, you know, it's formed. So eventually it'll square off. So you can actually do like a little edging effect just on one part of it. You're going to get the jagged stair-steppy stuff, but then what you can do, since it's actually going to be pretty uniform, is you can take the line tool and actually make lines out of it. You can connect the voxels and make a ramp down the face of them by just connecting them one by one. And since I faced this to the west, it wouldn't work. I would have to actually face it to the east, because you still have to do that. So I'm going to make another copy. And then just do the line tool here. And it's not going to match your curve, because it's still going to be at a 45-degree angle line. But you can have a curve that's one shape and then another more stepped curve above it, or you can even make it go, you know, up taller and completely squared off instead of trying to make another curve. So that's just another set of things to try. Almost scotch. That's actually an emote. Okay, this is in general chat and I have it covered so you guys can't see it. Somebody said when they get in caves and they get lost, they're dropping cubes on the ground as breadcrumbs to find their way out, because they heal after a while, but you can place cubes and they stay. I'm going to be doing that because I always forget which tunnel I've run down, so that way I'll know, oh, I've already gone down this tunnel, there's no treasure in here. Alright, are there any questions? I have to log because my son will be up soon, probably in 3 hours, asking if I want to play. Anything came up that I didn't cover, any bugs that you find after tonight, just let me know. You know, send me a tell.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
You're
you
welcome.
very much.
And I hope I get to see some more pictures. I really appreciated the pictures you sent me, Hilani, of your house. It's beautiful. Is it tagged, by the way? I didn't ask you. Do you have it tagged in the gallery? Just Hilani?
It is tagged. It's under Hailani. You can put OOC. It's my desert home.
Okay, cool. Because I had to see.
And they'll both take you there. The crafting area is the other half of the claim.
Okay. I'm going to go visit it tomorrow because I wanted to see how you did the washer and dryer from the pictures. I was like, I have to see how she did that. Raven Man. And you have permission, I'll just leave it here so you guys can keep playing and have fun. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Baby said thank you too.
Ah, cool. I'm glad she got. Thank you for being the translator, the go-between.
Not a problem. She crashed last time she tried putting raid call up, so we stayed in TeamSpeak and translated.